सम्यक् समाधिनिरतैर्विमलान्तरङ्गे साक्षादवेक्ष्य निजतत्त्वमपारसौख्यम् सन्तुष्यते परमहंसकुलैरजस्रम् यद्ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि केवलबोधमात्रम्।
उपासकानां यदुपासनीयम् उपात्तवासं वटशाखिमूले तद्धाम दाक्षिण्यजुषा स्वमूर्त्यां जागर्तु चित्ते मम बोधरूपम् अद्राक्षम् अक्षीणदयानिधानम् आचार्यम् आद्यं वटमूलभागे मौनेन मन्दस्मितभूषितेन महर्षिलोकस्य तमोनुदन्तं विद्राविताशेषतमो गणेन मुद्राविशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनां निरस्य मायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महान् तत्त्वमसीति बोधं ममाद्यदेवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात्कृतसन्निधानः ओङ्काररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तम् अपाकरोतु सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रुत्यर्थगोचरं वन्दे वाच्यार्थानामगोचरम् लक्ष्यार्थवपुषं वन्दे शङ्करं देशिकं गुरुम् अपारकरुणा अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। As the Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna during the Chaturmasya Anushtana, we are continuing Sankaracharya's life and teachings according to the book Aug2025, following the book Aug2025. Yesterday we saw how even great beings like Bhagavad-pada were affected by the activities of some some who were against them. So as long as we are in the world, these things will be there in the world. The body mind is subject to all the troubles in the world, even for a Jivan Mukta. Others are seeing the body mind and its actions and reactions. So they have to say that there is a body mind for a Jnāni and it is undergoing suffering and enjoyment, happiness. So from their standpoint, you have to surmise Prarabdha. Prarabdha is the force which is making the body of a Jnāni continue to live in the world. So for an onlooker, from the onlooker standpoint, we have to say Prarabdha should be gone through, experienced by everyone. There is no escape from that. But from the Jnānam standpoint, there is no Prarabdha. The moment for a Jnāni, neither Prarabdha exists, nor Agami karma exists, nor Sanchita karma exists. Because the Jiva Bhava itself is not there. The experiencer of Prarabdha do not exist. The body mind itself is unreal for the Jivan Mukta. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi in his Ulladinarpada, there is this verse in which he says, such a subtle thing, you have to just take by faith. Only when you experience it, you will understand. Otherwise, the worldly person will say there is Prarabdha. Jnāni will go on say there is no Prarabdha. Once Bhagavan was going up the hill, one of Bhagavan's very close devotees, T.P. Ramachandra, was an advocate, a lawyer by profession, and later on he gave up that job and he was an attendant to Bhagavan. So you will see him in many photos. So one day he was asking Bhagavan, Bhagavane, Prarabdham Jnāniki illenu solrele. Irukke Bhagavane, theriyarde. He said, Bhagavan, you say there is no Prarabdha for Jnāni, but Prarabdha is seen. Because they are also seeing various troubles in Bhagavan's body and around Bhagavan also, things happening. So they said, Bhagavane, Prarabdha irukke. Ille voy. Bhagavan said, no, does not exist. Then he said, Illena eppadi Bhagavane, theriyarde irukke. Bhagavan said, Illa. Again, third time after some few minutes, he again came with the same problem. Bhagavane, Prarabdha illenu Shastram solradhu theriyarudhu. I am able to understand that the scriptures are saying Prarabdha is not there. But how to explain when a Jnāni is suffering? Various troubles are there. Bhagavan looked at him and said, Illena illa. Ni irukku irukkuna irukku. See, you are the truth. Whatever you accept, that will manifest in your life. Satyasya satyam. There is a word in the Upanishad which says Atma is satyam. So whatever it gives energy to, that will become true. So satyasya satyam. So if you say Prarabdha is true, Prarabdha will become true. And Bhagavan gives a very powerful powerful way of the method which Bhagavan uses is, do you see the body or mind or yourself in deep sleep? No. Can you deny your existence in deep sleep? No. So experientially every day you are seeing your existence devoid of body, mind, ego, everything. And that is yourself, that is the self, that is you. At the same time, somebody nearby, he is hearing grrr, grrr, grrr. Your snoring sound he is hearing. But for you, sound sleep. You know that? Sound for others, sleep for oneself. So others are feeling that. And you do not know. In your experience, there is neither body, nor world, nor ego. This is deep sleep, worldlessness. This is the state where the mind is not. Na kanchana kamam kamayate, na kanchana swapanam pashyati, tat sushuptam. No desire, no dream, no world, no body, no mind. This is sushupti. Then what is turiya? Ekatma pratyaya saram, prapanchopashamam, shantam, shivam, advaitam. This is turiya. There is incessant knowledge that one Atma, one self alone exists. By that knowledge, the world ceases to exist even while it is visible. Prapanja upashamam. When you know the gold, you are not bothered about the ornaments. Ponnukku veraha bhushanam ullatho. Tannai vittu tanuvedu, tannai tanuvenban ajnāni tānāha kolvan tanayarinda jnāni dharippai. The essential thing is Eka Atma Pratyaya. Pratyaya is the knowledge, and Saram, when that knowledge is absorbed in oneself, Prapanchopashamam. The Prapancha as Prapancha is not real. The body as body or mind is not. It's absolute. For as long as you have not experienced it, it is philosophy. Once you experience it, it is utterly simple, saving knowledge. So from you look from distance, it is philosophy. When you become one with it, it is experience, anubhava. Siddhantamavadu, Kiddhantamavadu, anubhava vai. Bhagavan said, somebody asked, is it Siddhanta or Advaita? It is neither Siddhanta or anything, it is Anubhava. So Anubhava is Atma Swarupa. So, where did we start? Yes. For the Jivan Mukta, this is not real. So, from that standpoint, always you look at that standpoint if you have to spiritually attain. If you have to win over the world, win in the world, become somebody in the world, you have to look it from this side. Institution, you have to look from outside. Health, you have to look from outside. Even mind, you have to look from outside. So then you can have exercise, yoga, organizing, even upasana, create rectifying mental patterns. All these are from another standpoint, where you have to accept the jiva bhava. Upasana-shrito dharmaha jate brahmani vartate, the Mandukya Karika. That sadhana method by which you are doing some sadhana and you are going to attain, it is Jata Brahma sadhana. It means the ego, which is you accept the existence of ego. That is what Bhagavan said. Accepting the I and then searching for Brahman is like the thief dressing as policeman and searching for the thief. So this is Advaita, pure Advaita. Here, the Jiva Bhava itself is denied, not accepted. So, from this standpoint, there is no world, no Jiva Bhava, no Prarabdha. This is possible for a person who has finished all other planes. As the Upanishad says, Annamayamatmanam upasangramya, etam pranamayam upasankramya, etam manomayam upasankramya, etam vijnanamayam upasankramya, etam anandamayam upasankramya. These 5 planes he has transcended. Transcendent means what? This is the question. Transcending physical body means what? Do exercise, do yoga, have good diet, all physical disciplines. Can you transcend the body like that? You can do all that. In the relative plane, we have a freedom. Like you tie a cow, the cow has freedom up to the distance of the rope. Like that, we have freedom with the body. Some exercise, some diet, everything. In spite of that, we will see troubles come through the only door that is open. So, transcending the body means relatively you do exercise, you do yoga, you have diet, everything. Relatively, but somewhere you have to keep the wisdom that you cannot make it perfect. With that wisdom, how do you transcend? You know that it is not real. Your illusion in the physical plane, you transcend. Not the physical plane. Your illusion about the physical plane, you transcend. Not only that, along with that you can say prana plane also, then mind. Mind also. Mind, we think by meditating, by doing, we can attain mental perfection. Certain amount of mental perfection, discipline, meditation, it all gives you joy. And it is the beauty of spiritual life. That you do japa, you do upasana, everything gives you a kind of peace, a joy. We are not denying. And the mental joys in every level, you have right. But after certain period of exploring there, you will find the mind is not that what you define it. It is like so many things are there in the ether, whatever you tune to, that comes to you. Like that, so many ideas are floating here, so many pictures are floating here. You invite one idea, it will come. So the mind itself is not that simple thing, it's Maya. So that is why Bhagavan said, bring your mind. Where is the mind? So, there you transcend the Manomaya Kosha by knowing that it is not real. It does not belong to you. It is not you. Then the Anandamaya Kosha also. Vijnana is the thing which is doing all this. Then Anandamaya Kosha also. Anandamaya also. Some bliss comes, you get addicted to it. And the bliss comes and bliss goes. You understand the limitation of that plane also. Thus you transcend everything and at last find that abhayam pratishtham vindate. As the Upanishad says, in the subtlemost plane you find fearlessness and firm abidance, where there is no change, where there is no coming or going, and it is not based on your effort also. It is eternal, it is pure, it is nirvana sparupa. Whether you do sadhana or not. See, Bhagavan somewhere says, you are searching for the truth. But the truth is already there, was already there before your ego arose. And when the ego is doing all the striving, it is there underneath. And when the ego subsides, it subsides into that nirvana. The Shruti also finds culmination there. Etat ananda deva khalu imani bhuta nijayante anande najata nijivanti anandam prayanti abhisamvishanti. There ends. From ananda it arises, from in ananda it lives, and unto ananda it returns back. Anando brahmeti vyajanat. Ananda is Brahma. That conviction comes, sadhana comes to an end, because the sadhaka no more exists. All these things we are saying, it is kept in recording. Sometimes it will be useful. So let it. So this is. Anyway, at least we will understand that we will not understand. So, two streams are there. One side is the river of becoming, which you may call the river of death. On the other side is the shore of immortality, or river of immortality, whatever. Amritam jaiva mrityuscha. As Bhagavan says in Gita, Sad asatchaham Arjuna. Arjuna, on one side I am the asat, the non-existence, the unreal. On this side, I am the Sat, existence, real, immortality. So death is flowing this side, immortality is this side. And relatively this is true as a paramarthika, absolute, that is true. So you have to know both for complete understanding. So, now coming back to Sankaracharya's life, as we said, Prarabdha does not, it does not matter whether you say that there is Prarabdha for Jnāni, because many shlokas they say Prarabdha is there. Why Jnāni is suffering? Simple answer, Prarabdha, that person will go. If you say no Prarabdha, he will become your Prarabdha, every day asking question. How can you can say there is no Prarabdha? He will become your Prarabdha. Better accept that Prarabdha is there so that your Prarabdha will go. So, any argument See, there is a method in Vedanta which says yaya yaya bhavet pumsaha vyutpattihi pratyagatmani sa saiva prakriya jneya. By whatever method a person's mind is turned towards the self, that method is suitable for him. So too we can say, by whatever method a person finds peace, that is okay. So if you accept Prarabdha, some explanation at a certain stage, good. In Manisha Panchakam, Sankaracharya said, Prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapuhu. His body was offered to Prarabdha. His body is offered to Prarabdha. After Jnānam, Jnāni offers his body to Prarabdha. Let Prarabdha look after. As Tulasidas says, Prarabdha purva racha, piche rache sarira. First Prarabdha was created, then body was created. So why bother? Let it look after the body. I will do Ramanama Japa, he says. So that one way you can think like that. So Prarabdha is a force by which a Jivan Mukta works. That is one way. In another place, Bhagavan says, the moment a person attains the state of egolessness, that is Jnāna, a mighty power enters his body, takes hold of his body and works through that body. It uses that body for the well-being of the world. That is what Bhagavan tells in Aksharamanamalai. What is that? The part. Vida peyai pidittu enai peyanakine. Like a ghost, the unleaving ghost, which will not leave you. Persisting ghost. Arunachala, like a persistent ghost, you caught hold of me, entered my body. In Christian theology, they say, what do they say? Holy Ghost. They use that terminology. So that entered the body and used that body. So that is another way of saying the same thing. Which you do not understand, you say so. And purely from Vedantic standpoint, you can say it is the power of the self, Atma. Unhindered by ego. When the ego hindrance is no more there, it is Ishvara himself who is acting through the body. So, this is how a Jnāni is working in the world. A Jivan Mukta is working in the world. That is why we say Brahmaveda Brahmaiva Bhavati. One who knows Brahman, he is Brahman. He is Brahman. When Bhagavan was here, now Navaratri is coming. Once, in front of Bhagavan also they will do all puja. So they have kept all the books and they have done puja to the books. Seeing that, Muruganar wrote a song. I don't know that song. In fact, Kanakamma has written about it. Even they have not mentioned the song. In that song, Muruganar says, it is like with sugar cane, you extract the juice. And with the solidified juice, you make a form. And that, the raw chaff of sugar cane, it is kept there. Like that are the books. The truth is there in front of you in form. So, a Jivan Mukta, a Jnāni is Brahma, it is Brahman. So that is the essence. The sannyasins who decide to remain in nirvikalpa without disturbance. Vikalpa means disturbance. Nirvikalpa means no disturbance. So here, after the incident that we mentioned yesterday, all the sannyasins and sadhakas, they decided now no more mingling with the world. See, every spiritual person will understand. The greatest illusion that a spiritual person can have is, I am going to change the world. I am going to give teaching and everyone will be reformed. So this is an illusion. Sometimes a little bit spirituality and little bit imbalance also comes, means you will become Avadara Purusha, sitting like this. See, I have become Avadara, like that sometimes you can feel. So all these problems can arise. So this illusion a spiritual person also has to transcend. Swami Vivekananda, in one of his letters, he says, this world is like the tail of a dog. See, so much compassion, he was so dynamic, so many things he did, but he says, the world is like the tail of a dog. You try to straighten it, it will again come to the same standard. Leave it. You will learn that it will not straighten. That is the benefit. But the others will use the same thing. Those who come behind you, they will also try to do the same thing. So this is the world. You try to do something here, it is like, somebody is morning doing this push-up in the wall. He is not trying to push the wall. Sometimes the wall might fall. But what he is doing is, he is developing his own muscle. The wall is useless. He is developing his own muscle. Like that, this இது ரொம்ப யூஸ் ஆகும். இது உள்ள இருக்கு பாருங்க, உள்ள. So this is like that. So all your sadhana, everything that you are doing, it will only make you egoless, make you pure. Only that benefit is there. Loka sangraham evapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. In Gita, Bhagavan says, for Loka sangraham you do. Loka sangraham means what? Serving the world as Bhagavan, so that your mind becomes pure. Not that the world is benefited anyway. Bhagavan also says, Jagata Ishadhi Yukta Sevanam Ashtamurti Brid Deva Pujanam. The world you see, you look at it as Bhagavan, so that the world no more disturbs you. And when the mind is sufficiently pure, you know that one alone exists. Ekameva advitiyam iti yad guror vakyena nishitam. Very beautiful definition for ekantam, solitude. You ask Sankaracharya what is solitude, he says, when you go to Guru or a saint, he tells you ekameva advitiyam. One alone exists without a second. And if your mind is sufficiently pure, that moment you are convinced, iti nishitam, then after that, for you there is eternal ekantada, constant solitude. Etad ekantam ityuktam na matho na vanandaram. You neither need a matha nor need to go to forest, because for you Atma alone exists. Everything is the self. So this is solitude. So Listen to the emphatic declaration of Janaka. This is Janaka's declaration. He was a king. He was sitting in the throne, always surrounded by people, and he says, Aho Janasamuhepi Nadvaitam Pashyato Mama Aranyamiva Samvrittam Kvaratim Karavanyaham. Even amidst crowd, Janasamuha, Nadvaitam Pashyato Mama, I am not seeing the other, the duality. So for me it is like forest. Where will I get attached? He asks. My solitude, which does not see the other, even in the midst of a crowd, is totally secure. My renunciation, which knows that nothing is mine, even amidst wealth, is complete. My detachment, which knows the import of the Mahavakya, that the self has no attachment towards anyone or anything, is perfect. My non-action, that sees the absence of doership and enjoyership in the self, is also whole. I am Videha, the bodiless one. As I know the absolute absence of the body in the self. Everything is from another standpoint. See, I will read it again. My solitude, first thing, my solitude, which does not see the other, even amidst crowd, is totally secure, because that solitude cannot be broken by anyone coming. That was Bhagwan. Wherever he was, there was no two. My renunciation, Tyaga, my renunciation, which knows that nothing is mine, even amidst wealth, is complete, because he is a king. And he says, even if the Mithilapuri goes, is burnt, nothing is lost for me. Mithilayam pradiptayam name kinchit pranashyati. Now detachment. About detachment he says, my detachment, which knows the import of the Mahavakya, asangohyayam purusha. This self is by nature inherently unattached. By knowing that that the self has no attachment towards anyone or anything, is perfect. My non-action. Now about akarma. That sees the absence of doership and enjoyership in the self. In the self there is neither doership nor enjoyership. By that knowledge, this non-doership or actionlessness is also perfect. Now about bodilessness. For that you need not die. Here Bhagavad Pada says, my non-action, that sees I am Videha, I am bodiless, because I know that in my real nature there is no body. This Bhagavan, many places Bhagavan's method is, he says, do you see the body in deep sleep? And can you reject your existence there? No. So in your existence there is no body. So this knowledge, this is the perfection of a Mukta Purusha. You are all Paramahamsas. He is talking to the monks, sannyasis. So he says, you are all Paramahamsas. Shruti says, Pandityam nirvidya balyena tishthāset. Knowing perfectly the truth of the self, transcend verbal knowledge and remain childlike in the self. Like a child, absolutely unattached, joyful, balavat kridet. He says, like a child, the Jivan Mukta plays about. So, take refuge in the strength of the self alone. That is what matters. We have sometimes knowledge. Many people ask, we know clearly, but why? When coming back to world, we are not able to remain there, because knowledge is perfect. There is no doubt about it. Don't think that after that knowledge you have to get a special experience. No. The viryam, the vigor of knowledge has not happened. You know the thing very clearly, But when the world comes and tells you, I am here, you forget the knowledge and you accept the world. And when the body comes and tells you, I am here, you forget. Once I was in Ananda Ashram, I had some fever or some problem. So Satchidananda Swamiji was there. Swamiji also had lot of problems physically. So when I went to his room, he asked, "Eppadi irukkel?" He said, "How are you?" "Yes, fever is there." "Odambu irukku solradhu." He said, the body is telling you that it is there. It is trying to convince you, hypnotize you that it is there. It is a very solid hypnotism. Sometimes hypnosis is, at that time you feel these things. What they call virtual reality now. You see all things which does not exist. Like that, all these things are seen. So, Dirgha Swapanam, as Yoga Vasishta puts it, Dirgha Swapanam, not small span. It is long duration dream. This dream also will end, we know. This also will end. So, here Sankaracharya, Bhagavad-pada says, after knowing, after clear understanding, absorb that knowledge and let the power of knowledge blaze forth in you when you are in your Prarabdha field. That is Bhagavan. It is not that there is no any special knowledge there. Somebody, Arthur Osborne asked Bhagavan, he has written in his book, he says, we confirm, Bhagavan, is there any special thing which you have not revealed? Other than what are there in written record? Bhagavan said, it is all same. Everything is revealed. Then why it is not working? You forget. No, medicine is same. The doctor says, take the medicine for 100 days. You take once and forget. And my medicine is not working, One guru gave mantra to a disciple. And the disciple went to the guru and told him, Gurudev, mantra is not working. He said, you are not working. It is not mantra. You have to do japam. You are not doing japam. Mantra by itself will not work. Like that, this knowledge will work. But you have to do mananam, contemplation. You have to absorb the knowledge. And the knowledge should become power inside you. One Swami told, very beautiful example, he said, he is giving knowledge to his disciples. And they are, of course, you cannot expect that moment itself the knowledge will work. It will not work. So he said, now it is not working. I know. It will work. It should, now it is, the knowledge is there, but they are reacting according to their mind, their habit, their vasana, they are reacting. The knowledge should, now next step is they will learn to respond. The knowledge will tell them that what you do is not right, you should not react. So they will wait and use the knowledge and respond. And third stage is they will react from the plane of knowledge. That is the perfect plane. Like the serpent, you touch the serpent, it takes the hoods. That is the example he gave. The moment you touch the serpent, it takes the hoods. Like that, the knowledge is so powerful that no moment the Jnāni forgets it. The Prarabdha tries to invade. He just takes the hoods. And he will not accept. So that is the power of knowledge, balyam, viryam. He says viryam. It is the viryam. So the viryam of knowledge. So that is what we saw in Bhagavan also, because his body was also suffering. sarcoma was there. Many untrue stories are there. Many people, formerly I also used to believe that, because that is what we heard from our childhood. People saying that Bhagavan had no pain. And Bhagavan was not knowing pain. He said, do surgery, there was no pain. That medical science will do. Some anesthesia will do. And perhaps in future they will make it more perfect, that it will help you not feeling pain. That is not jnanam. Bhagavan says the pain is like thousands of hornets are piercing you. So much of pain is there. On one side, he had that immense power to endure. That is one prerequisite for jnanam, which Vedanta says, Titiksha. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam. Without reacting, you are ready to endure. Then itself problem is over. Let life bring anything, I will. Rama says, in Bhavabhuti Ramayana, Rama says, anyway I am born as Rama, I will endure, he says. Ramosmi sarvam sahe. Ramosmi, I am Rama, born as Rama, I will endure. So this Bhagavan also had that much immense endurance, so he endured it on one side. On another side, the knowledge of the self was blazing forth. And especially when everyone saw that Bhagavan's body has got shattered, then also he refused to accept that there is body. That is why Balram Reddy said, only then I understood what is jnanam. Otherwise, no body idea, all we have heard. But when even in that state, he refused to accept the existence of body, then we know what is the power of jnanam. It is the power of jnanam. So, that is what here we see. Pandityam nirvidya balyena tishtase. Take refuge in the strength of the self alone. Other sources of support do not befit a recluse. Only jnana, the self, is worthy of refuge. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. In Gita, Krishna says, mamekam does not mean some Krishna somewhere historically born. No. Aham atma gudakesha sarvabhutashaya stitaha. He is within you as Atma, as your own self. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati tameva sharanam gacha. Ishvara is in your heart. You have to surrender to him, not somebody outside. So, take refuge in that. Other sources of support do not befit a recluse, because those supports will cheat us, deceive us. One day they will go. So, only jnana, the self, is worthy of refuge. None of this. Solitude, you cannot depend upon that. You go to solitude first, very happy. After that, in solitude, you will find your mind is furiously working with doubled vigor, because it took rest. After taking exercise, it comes with more strength. So solitude, you cannot depend upon that. Then some mutt, some ashrama. All ashramas are all in court. Everywhere. Somebody was discussing in front of Bhagavan about one ashrama in Kutrala. They were, can such things happen in ashrama, that they are having court case, everything? Bhagavan said, Ingena vazhapodhu. Who knows what will happen here? Because it is bound to be like that. Many people come collectively, all their Prarabdha will come. It is very, very difficult. You cannot catch hold and keep everything there. You try to do that, it will go. It will break loose and fly. Because every person has their own prarabdha, their own force. And in an institution, the problem is they will neither go, they will never hear also. They will never listen also. Everyone, we will find that they are listening to their mind, their intellect, not to Shastra or Guru. But they will act as if they are listening to the Guru or Shastra. That is because you cannot help it. Because the force is so much that individuality itself is the force. It is a force, it is a power. And that power nobody can deny. You cannot, that very simple way, you cannot surrender it anywhere. When you search a Guru, when you search a God, you are searching a place where you can put the individuality, ego. But that is not that simple. It is not an idealistic thing, poetical, romantic thing that you can do. Sharanagatoham, Sharanagatoham. You can sing. But song is okay. That Sharanagatoham, Sharanagatoham. Is it that easy? So you have to do self-enquiry. You have to understand. You have to see the Jiva Bhava. And then consciously, you have even self-enquiry. You can say it is a method by which you surrender. Remove. Surrender means what? Understanding that the ego is unreal. That is surrender. That kind of surrender blossoms very, very slowly, gradually. And like Urvarukam iva bandhanad, as the Veda puts it, like the fruit is it? Cucumber. It's not Himalayan cucumber. That is what Swami Chinmayananda says. I heard recently. It is not the cucumber here. Says the Himalayan cucumber gets separated and it will not leave that creeper. It will hang on that creeper and it will explode and send out all the seeds outside. Like that, the Jivan Mukta's life is also like that. All his stored up karma will explode. Will explode, doing good to the world, and it will hang on the creeper. And very mild way it will separate itself. So this is how the Jnanam makes you free. In a imperceptible way, inwardly you recognize the freedom of the self. So you will experience the strength of the self only if you renounce all other sources of support. See, you hold on to something. That is what they say when Draupadi's, she was disrobed by Dushasana. She was screaming, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna did not come. Later on, Draupadi asked, first I called you, why you did not? Because you were holding. Then she said, hey Krishna, Dwarakavasin, Krishna Gopi Janapriya. She became angry with Krishna. You only know how to dance with gopis, you are not coming. And you are in Dwaraka. Krishna said, how can I come? No train, first of all. And flight also not available. How can I come? Then she called Krishna Krishna Mahayogin Vishwatman Vishwabhavana. You are the cosmic being. You are everywhere. You are the all-pervading reality. Prapannam Pahi. Here I surrender completely. Then he manifested. So the manifestation of the divine happens when absolute surrender happens. And absolute surrender, you cannot act by simply knowing, oh, absolute surrender. People think it is very easy. The ego, first of all, when you feel surrender is very, I like surrender, then itself you are not surrendered, because you don't want to work. So you say surrender is my path. So that easy. So you have to do Atma Vichara. Look at your ego. Atma Vichara means what? Look at your ego. Expose the ego to your own intelligence completely and find that you have not surrendered. And every step you become conscious, wakeful. And you, Bhagavan, then Ishvara's power will come, manifest before you. The grace will come, manifest before you in various forms, slowly doing the surgery. This is what Bhagavan calls Arul Poratam. One side you are mindful, on another side you know that Anugraha Shakti, it will come before you as life, it will come before you as events, it will come before you as individuals, various forms it will come, helping you, just like this sugarcane juice, they will just push it inside, and the chakram, the juice will be separated. Like that, you push the ego little by little into that powerful machine of grace, which will just squeeze the juice out of it. At last the ego lies there without life. So that is, so Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate amritam. The knowledge, the recognition of the self tells you that your real nature is deathless, immortal, amritam. Then, by that knowledge, viryam, when your prarabdha, when your life is challenging you every step, then every step you learn how to use this power of knowledge to be fearless, abhayam, as Swami Vivekananda says. From every page, from every word, Upanishad is teaching me only one thing: abhihi, abhihi. Be fearless, be fearless. Abhayam, the true fearlessness. So, Sharachandra Chakrabarti, one of Swami Vivekananda's disciples, he wrote about Swami Vivekananda as Abhihi abhihi hunkara nadita dingmukha prachanda tandava nirtam. He said he did tandava nirtam everywhere, singing abhihi abhihi. Be fearless, be fearless. So that fearlessness is the teaching of Vedanta. That is one dimension of Vedanta. So if you take refuge in the self, strength will arise, vitality will increase, and through knowledge you will know that you are immortal. Sadhana phala ashrayanam hi balam itaresham anatma vidam. Those who have no self-knowledge, they will use some practice, some person, some method, some technique. This practice, this person, this method, this technique, everything is limited. Even our idea of God is very, very limited. So all these limited things are making you also a limited person. Tad balam hitva. Giving up that kind of holding to this and that. Asadhana phalaswarupa atma vijnanameva balam. For a Jnāni, he takes hold of the power of Jnānam. Asadhana phalaswarupam. No sadhana, no phalam. He is not seeking any result. He is not ready to hold on to any limited practice also to attain anything. Then the great strength arises inside him. Ekameva tadbhavameva kevalam ashrayet. That kind of balam he depends upon, and that balam is his real swarupa. Balam nama atma vidyaya ashesha vishaya drishti tiraskaranam. Very powerful. Says, what is balam? He says balam is by the power of atma vidya, by the power of knowledge of the self, the entire objective vision is swept away, wiped out. Balam nama atma vidyaya ashesha vishaya drishti tiraskaranam. Only those who do not know the self rely on sadhana and the fruit of practice. As long as the person has no knowledge, it is like staying inside a jail and eating whatever they give. Like that. So, when those who do not know the self rely on limited practice and limited fruit, the wise one leaves all such sources of support and knows the self that is beyond sadhana and fruit of practice, and holds on only to the self that itself is strength. Real strength. You can see such infinitude in Bhagavan. Incessant abidance in the self. Knowledge of the self. Real strength lies in eliminating all perceptions of objects. Drishyam nasti iti bodhena manaso drishyamarjanam. You just sweep, wash, clean the drishya prapancha. Edad nirvanam ityuk. This is nirvana. Yoga Vasishta says this is nirvana. So real strength lies in eliminating all perceptions of objects and abiding in the experience of the self through self-knowledge. By Atma Jnāna, abiding in the Atma. Jnānam is abidance. Knowledge itself is abidance. Jnānameva labha. Because it's like you have the necklace in your neck. And you are searching, where is it? Somebody tells you, it is there. That very recognition is abidance. If you truly recognize, you need not do any special practice for after that abidance. We have to struggle to do that because the knowledge is not powerful. If the knowledge is truly powerful, the very moment recognition happens, there is no question of separate abidance. That itself is sakshatkara, that itself is labha, that itself is absolute freedom. Jivan mukti. So this teaching Bhagavad-pada gives to his disciples. After that, there is continuing the travel to Gauda Desha. Gauda Desha is Vanga Desha, is Bengal. So that is why you might have heard Gauda Saraswata. So Gauda means that there is actually 5 Gaudas, like 5 Dravidas. People think Dravida means Tamil Nadu. And they do not even know that Dravida is a Sanskrit Shabda. So Dravida is not simply Tamil Nadu. Dravida is Karnataka is also Dravida, Andhra is also Dravida, Kerala is also Dravida, Maharashtra is also Dravida. They are called Pancha Dravidas. And Pancha Gaudas are there, Kampilya, Maithilya, like that many places are being named. So this is the thing. So peace is the goal of spiritual life. Seekers in general search for ways to make the mind peaceful. Mind is nothing but the sign of ignorance. So we will continue this chapter. It is 56th chapter that we will see tomorrow. It's all teaching. All teaching. Now the story is slowly has like a river entered the ocean of teaching, and in the teaching the teacher will disappear. That is it. So all this almost 1 month Sankaracharya's life story, so that we are going to conclude 2 or 3 days, maximum 3 days, I think so.
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva,
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.